Our top 5 things to do on foot near Galveston, Texas cruise port. If you're within walking distance to the port, there's plenty to enjoy just on your own 2 feet. So stash your luggage at the cruise stop, or in the car, and enjoy. Let's do some exploring here on the Port Lowdown. Number 1, the Strand and Arts District. This charming area is the island's tourist and shopping district, directly across from Terminals 25 and 28. The big attraction here is the beautiful Victoria-era buildings, which landed the district a listing in the National Register of Historic Places. Placards are everywhere explaining the building's history. There's even a Mardi Gras arch. As a historic district, you'll only find specialty and high-end boutique-style shops here rather than chains. No Diamonds International or Bubba Gump's here. This one clothes store even has a bar and a live band. This is also where my wife got her steampunk on. An unexpected pleasure was the numerous street art along the side streets and occasionally the alleys. The adjacent arts district has many of these, including sculptures and murals. Mingled with smart coffee shops and galleries. I mean, wow, you know? It's hard to complain about a city that has so much art everywhere, even in the alleyways. It's really awesome. And just be able to cruise around here and check out the various art. It's all for free and very Instagrammable. Number 2, Ocean Star Offshore Drilling Rig and Museum. Being Texas, it seemed appropriate to visit a museum on the oil and gas industry. This one is really cool, sitting inside a retired jack-up drilling rig. It's a very pretty walk up to the rig as well. Compact and informative with lots of hands-on exhibits. Imagine diving in this. And this is how you got onto an open ocean rig. You're wenched up in this thing while you hold on for dear life. The biggest impression I got was how immense an oil rig can be, especially under the water. These cables spread across an area the size of Manhattan. Worth a good 1 hour. By the way, the museum is adjacent to Pier 21, with the Texas Seaport Museum and tall ship Alyssa. Restaurants and boat tours too. Number 3, Galveston Railroad Museum. This is in a lovingly restored former central station, bringing you back to the early and mid-20th century when railroad travel was king. The main attraction is the 5-acre rail yard, where you can roam inside a large collection of historic rail cars. All restored and explained in detail. You can even sit here and hang a while, imagining a very different time. There's also a traditional museum and side galleries for going more in depth. There's a surprising amount of artifacts here. One of the highlights was this train conductor simulator. Although it doesn't look super high-tech, it comes with a guide who explains all the controls in operation. My son spent quite a while here. Good for at least 2 hours, especially if trains are your passion. Number 4, Star Drugstore. Why not have lunch in the oldest drugstore in Texas? Originally opened in the late 1800s, it has survived numerous hurricanes. Check out the water level from Ike. Lots of history and community love. The architecture is classic Americana with great atmosphere. The food is good too. We recommend the salad sampler and the milkshakes. By the way, if you find this video useful and enjoyable, hit us up with a like and consider subscribing. It's easy to do and it would mean a lot to us. Thank you. And finally, number 5, the NIA Cultural Center. While on the Strand, we happened upon this amazing mural commemorating the Emancipation Proclamation and the starting of the Juneteenth holiday here in Galveston. It's called the Absolute Equality Mural. We then found this gem right next to the mural. We'll let Samuel Collins III, president of the Juneteenth Legacy Project, to explain this special center.
All right, welcome to the NIA Cultural Center Juneteenth Legacy Project headquarters. I am Samuel Collins, a certified tourism ambassador. We're so glad to have you here in Galveston, Texas, the birthplace of Juneteenth. So maybe you've read about Juneteenth, you watched a video on Juneteenth, but it's like reading about swimming or watching a video on swimming. At some point, you have to get in the water. And you today are in the Juneteenth water in Galveston, Texas, where Juneteenth began on the southwest corner of 22nd and Strand. So on the southwest corner is where Major General Gordon Granger set up his headquarters. A few years ago, 2 years ago actually, we did a Juneteenth mural, and this space was open, and we decided to put the art up to celebrate the artists in this location. So across the street used to be one of the largest auction houses in Texas, west of New Orleans. Maya Angelou has a quote, "History, despite its wrenching pain, cannot be unlived, but if faced with courage, need not be lived again." There's nothing we could do about the past. 1528 actually is when the first non-native enslaved person arrived in Galveston, Texas. Nothing we could do to change that history. But what we're trying to do here is now have this space where the artist and art is celebrated, and the artists are rewarded for their labor, where labor was once exploited, it is now celebrated. So we have spoken word artists, we have musicians, we do events here at the NIA Cultural Center, and we're on the southwest corner of 22nd and Strand in the old Galveston Square building. The NIA Cultural Center has been in existence since 1992. The Juneteenth Legacy Project was formed in the fall of 2020, and we began this partnership of working together to teach this history. In the gallery, we have books, which are what we call our weapons of mass destruction. Books, knowledge, and information are used to combat ignorance, false narratives, and darkness with light and truth from primary source documents. So we welcome everyone to come here to Galveston, Texas, and visit the NIA Cultural Center Juneteenth Legacy Project headquarters to learn more of this Galveston history, Texas history, American history, and world history.
This was easily one of the top highlights of our trip. We didn't realize Galveston was so important in history. We loved our time in Galveston. Don't just pass on through, especially if you've never been here before. You're sure to discover something to love.